Welcome to Dave's Cooking Show, and today we have one of the most iconic video game characters ever, Mario. And what does Mario like to eat? Well, according to all reports, it's spaghetti. So it's time to make Mario spaghetti and meatball.
Okie dokie, let's start these meatballs off. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna chunk up some bacon in about inch pieces. Then we're gonna grind up said bacon. I'm using the fine die on my grinder for this particular grind. Okay, so we've got our pound of bacon ground up. Now to that, you want to add about 1 pound of ground beef. You can use whatever lean you wanted. I personally went with an 80-20 blend. I think that just does the best job out of all the ground beefs. You could certainly go higher because there's more than enough fat with the bacon. Now, we're going to add 2 eggs, and all these is just binders. Eggs are essentially, in this case, kind of like the glue that holds the meatballs together. And then I'm just really simply seasoning these up. This is just an Italian seasoning I got from McCormick. It tastes pretty good. I think there's like basil, oregano, and some other shit in there. And I'm going to apply a generous amount, probably a tablespoon and a half. And, of course, I'm going to add some pepper to this. I'm not really going to add any salt because of the goddamn, all the salt that's in the bacon. So, just adding some pepper, and then we'll turn these into meatballs. Okie dokie. Now we're actually going to form them into the meatballs. I've lined this baking sheet with some parchment paper. Trust me, this will make life a hell of a lot easier. And I'm going not for the super big meatballs and not the super tiny meatballs. I'm making them a little bit bigger than a golf ball if you want to size them up a little bit. They're about 2 ounces a piece. So we should get about 16 meatballs out of this recipe. And yeah, then pop them into a 300-degree oven till they're 165 internally. And while we're waiting for that to happen, there is something I've always wondered about the Mario universe.
You know, does Mario ever stop and think that maybe the reason Peach keeps getting fucking kidnapped is because she actually wants to be with Bowser? I mean, look at this clip show!
Okay, and then you just want to get some sauce heating up on the stove. This is just a marinara sauce, and to be honest, I'm not going to do a whole lot with it because the flavor of this dish is going to be in the meatballs. Then, to a pot of salted boiling water, you want to add 1 pound of spaghetti and basically cook it to package directions for al dente, which is about 10 minutes. Okie dokie, so we got our cooked spaghetti in the bowl, and now we're going to add 3 of those meatballs that we cooked up. The bacon and beef meatballs. What the hell, let's add 4. 3's good, 4'd be great. Then we're going to add a generous amount of the marinara sauce that we just heated up. Again, the hero of this dish is supposed to be the meatballs, not the fucking sauce. I know some purists are going to go, you're supposed to cook the meatballs and the sauce together, blah, blah, blah. This is my dish. And finally, last ingredient, give a generous dusting of Parmesan cheese. And that's Super Mario's spaghetti. Done.